Hello everyone, this is a time lapse of a stream that I did. These are some thumbnails that I was doing for the image that I want to make, a sea battle. And then I turned that into a simple watercolor image. It looks fairly boring, the composition, because there's no dynamic in space and distance and perspective. So I basically take up the whole thumbnails again and I look at another one that I might find more interesting. This one has a lot of potential because the ship's very far from each other, so I can have some depth going in, some atmospheric depth. So I take that one into a new image that I made, which is 300 pixels by 150, kind of. And I did this very quick sketch around there, and the point is just to get things into place. I will be separating this boat, or this ship, and the other ship in different layers. Just to allow me to move things around. Now the other one I just do as a silhouette because it's going to be far away. It's not going to have so much contrast. A very simple blue sky, which is not going to be the blue that I end up choosing. And because I want to do this as being the Portuguese fleet, I know that this takes place more in the Atlantic, so I'm not going to do one of those Caribbean bright greens and bright blues sea. It's going to be a dark high Atlantic sea. What I'm trying to do here is just putting some bounce light on the ship's hull, and also trying to do some light coming from the top left. But the sun is slightly behind the ship, so only part of the top of the sails get lit. And what you see there on this sail is actually the translucency, so the color from the back of the sail sort of pushing through the cloth, pushing through the tile. The textile, and it kind of looks cool. I mean, in terms of colors, I was fairly happy with that, and it kind of looks cool. But in terms of composition, these two things aren't working really that well. The perspective of the back boat, which is I've already decided that I am going to change, is a little bit off. It doesn't look like it can attack, so it's too far away. And this ship, even though it's pointing away from it, which makes sense in a sort of narrative point of view, that it would be trying to go away. If I just had the camera a little bit to the side, it would be pointing the other way. So it's a matter of where you're standing. So I can still point them the other way. And that's eventually what I do. I point them the other way. And I'm happy with the result. Now, here I'm trying to figure out the sails behind those front sails and how they would look. They can't be the same color because then you wouldn't be able to set them apart. So I make them a little bit darker, and I think I'm still going to push them down a little bit because that sky poking through the top and bottom sail doesn't look natural to me. It looks like you shouldn't be able to see the sky behind it. And I'm trying to add, again, the translucency here on the back. We have the translucency, and there we go. I just pushed that other sail down a little bit. We have the translucency and the cast shadow from the mast and from the back sail, which is not going to be fully opaque, so to speak. It's also going to let some light poke through. I'm adding the surf there, and the way that the ships were drawn, they were really on top of the sky, almost like the sky was a platform. And it's supposed to be a platform, but a three-dimensional one. So what I do is I just push that away into the distance by making it more and more the same color as the sky. I'm trying to do some bounce light from the water up onto the sail, but it's not really doing anything for me. And this is the point where I think I decide I want to change the lighting. So I put the sunlight on the left, and it forces me to flip this ship. And I like that so much more because now the ships make a V. It's almost like they're being pushed away by an explosion, which obviously not, but it kind of pushes them away, which is also a nice way to represent that they are opposing. And it gives me this opportunity to just drop shadows here. And this is me, I think, during the stream, just explaining the concept of having light coming through from the back of the sail. This allows me to actually go in and put the shadow of that front sail on the big sails, which kind of pushes things into place a lot more. It allows me to have bounce light from the sea on the dark side of the sail, which allows me to make a desaturated color, which is more within the shades of what I wanted. And here I'm just trying to add the cross of the Order of Christ, which is a Portuguese naval symbol. Very, very typical. It's not the Iron Cross, as some people think. And I do this, it's very peculiar because it's a square shape drawn on a sphere, that is then cut out into a triangle. So it's really messed up. I think I actually did a decent job in getting that cross on the triangular sail there. On the back boat, it looks like, because I keep the same colors, it looks like it's made from the same material, which is not good. It's something I have to change. And I also want to tilt him a little bit more, because this way it doesn't look like he would be able to shoot. I do like the perspective. I think it's a little too tilted. And I'm adding the smoke back, the smoke from the explosion, to see if I can still sell this as an idea, as a battle. Also, adding this light on the clouds really gives them perspective. Now you see that the top cloud really looks like we're seeing it from behind, from the bottom, actually, from underneath. So this is what I ended up with after an hour of stream, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll be posting the rest of the videos later.